And now we go to banking. That is important for all e-commerce entrepreneurs. Please welcome Adonis Yap, the first vice president and head of the digital business banking group for China Bank Savings, that most people will recognize as the Entrepreneur's Bank. This group has really distinguished itself for years as an entrepreneur's bank and very strong now in e-commerce. Welcome to Adonis Yap of China Bank Savings.
If channeled the right way, technology can overcome the barriers to financial inclusion. China Bank Savings strongly advocates products and services that are accessible, suitably designed, and custom fit for the diverse market, especially the unbanked and underserved market. This is in line with CBS financial inclusion mission, a key strand of our Business and Rise initiative. The advocacy is to inspire the spirit of entrepreneurship among Filipino and to ignite consumer confidence, both need to rapid economic recovery. Digital transformation became more significant during the COVID-19 pandemic, when the country was forced to reduce all physical channels. As consumers, business owners, and the bank customer, we had to shift to a new way of doing things. The harsh reality is that in a country with 70% smartphone penetration, majority of Filipinos are without formal bank accounts. Financial inclusion remains a strategic goal. The digital banking, or the so-called mobile revolution, plays a significant role in driving e-commerce activities in the country. The Philippine financial industry has twin targets for 2023. First is to move half of the financial transaction in the country in total to digital. The second is to get 70% of the Filipino adults to have transaction accounts. If we meet these two objectives, this will allow the economy to shift from being cash heavy to cash light. Cold cash remains a big part in the country's system of payments. Some of us here, especially the younger members of the audience, will remember those years when the Bangko Sentral would launch campaigns among students and general public to draw coins back to the circulation and end coin shortage. With financial technology, it is expected to minimize reliance on cash-based transactions. First, not bringing cash is convenient, and with the virus still capable of wreaking havoc, there is also concern for public safety. To be truthful, internet and mobile banking significantly lags behind other modes of transactions for all types of accounts. Bank and e-money accounts are still mostly transacted via ATMs. It is already a good sign that 27% use online or electronic channels, but over-the-counter remains the most used for transaction. But even microfinance still registered the lowest ATM use, suggesting that these institutions are yet to be connected to a card or other payment instruments to gain access to the e-commerce space. The country's financial policymakers convert about 50% of total volume of retail payments to digital. Payment services are the doorway of most Filipinos to formal financial system. To drive the shift to digital, we need faster, affordable, and more convenient payment options. It is hoped that by doing so, 7 out of 10 Filipino adults would be financially included. Firstly, by getting them used to payment transaction. Before the pandemic, CBS also sought to ensure that all new CBS customers were automatically onboarded on digital platforms. It is no longer an option, but a product. There are about 100,000 merchants and millions of individuals who are equipped to pay digitally. However, such payment represents only 12% of transactions and a tiny fraction in the micro and SME sector, which comprises the majority of merchants. It is estimated that Filipino consumers make up to 75 million utility payments every month, but only 5 out of 100 transactions are digital and the rest are still done with cash. With so many people already on the internet and owning smartphone in this country, The challenge is to develop a culture to make e-commerce or digital modes of payments more acceptable. The good news is banks and business are investing heavily on digital initiatives, shifting transactions from cash to electronic channels via money transfer, electronic money, and the priority given to schemes by the government under the National Retail Payment System or NRPS, which are InstaPay and PesoNet, whose growth in terms of volume and value is paving the way for citizen to have convenient and secure retail options for moving funds from one participating institution to another to further credit a business account and fulfill an e-commerce transaction. For PesoNet, there's no ceiling on the amount. Its use is highly encouraged as alternate to checks and may be used to settle your recurring bills or your bulk payments to trade suppliers, for example. PesoNet has become more convenient with its two cut-offs. So funds that are transacted in the morning are credited by noon, and those that are sent in the afternoon are credited before the day ends. There are 96 participating institutions as of March 2022, including China Bank Savings. InstaPay, on the other hand, the retail channel also saw an increase in adoption in 2019. By 2022, BSP reported a year-on-year surge in value and transaction by more than 442% or 739% respectively. In the first semester of the year of the COVID-19, the volume of InstaPay transaction more than doubled. The value of transactions rose 93% in the same period. As of March, there are already 66 participating institutions and 55 are sender and receivers, including China Bank Savings, while 11 remains to be the receiver. As an institution, CBS seeks to keep relevant, remain mindful and agile as bankers. We have to stay open-minded and alert to the possibilities, which brings me to the advocacy of the Bank Marketing Association of the Philippines, or BMAC, which underscores the fight against fraud as a shared responsibility. As provider of financial services, we have banded together to raise consumer awareness, vigilance against cybercrime and fraud. In 2020, BSP received up to 20,000 concerns, 13% of which are unauthorized fraudulent transactions related to deposit cards and e-money transactions and remittances. So how do we fight the fraud together to ensure e-commerce continues growth? Always check the legitimacy of your message and email received. Protect sensitive information. Do not panic. Fraudsters use scare tactics to pressure victims. Be cautious. Create a strong password, as we always hear. Work with your bank. And when in doubt, report. Report to your bank, report to your branch, or even to Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, Consumer Protection Department. Thank you for your time. It's been a delight sharing with you.
Very good. Thank you, Ado. That was a really good update. I didn't know what you were going to talk about, and you gave a lot of good information. I'm glad things are really moving ahead. So how far do you think away is Philippines from, you hear all these great things about China and all of the online payments they do. How far along are we until we'll get to some place close to where they are, do you think?
Well, I think we're close. The resiliency of Filipinos in adopting technology is already there. The smartphone penetration is already there. It's just a matter of us building the culture. And well, sad as it may seem, the pandemic is also helping us to adapt to the e-commerce technology.
That's true. Okay. Well, Ado, that's really good. And we got to keep up. It's nice to hear that you got a really good background in this and a lot of good information. So, I think everybody should take that as an inspiration in their own e-commerce journeys. So thank you again. That was Adonis Yap of China Bank Savings. And keep up the great work. Ado, we'll have you again.
Thank you. Thank you, Richard.